Welcome to Arcane Answers. Join me as your guide to the unexplained. I'm Lare, and along with me is my co-hosts Amanda and Sara. Each week we delve into the fascinating world of the paranormal phenomena. This week we'll be exploring legendary creatures and mysterious beings known as cryptids. Each of the United States has their own unique flavor of monster, but we're going to be delving into Maine and Oklahoma and the peppering of some outliers out there, some weird ones. Isn't that right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we picked our favorite, most interesting, silly ones.
And how are you guys doing today?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Good. I can hear you got some... Sorry, go on.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I can hear you got some spring chicks in the background.
Yeah, we got spring chicks, and we're already up to like 77 degrees today. I'm not ready.
Ooh.
Yeah, the humidity is about 700.
I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah.
No. Up here in Maine, we just had snow again not too long ago. So.
Oh, I miss the snow.
I've already planted my garden.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah. So, should we get into segment one?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we're going to open up a segment here in Maine. You know, with our extensive forests and numerous lakes and rugged coastline, we have tons of hiding places for creatures. And so, are you guys familiar with our indigenous people up here, the Wabanaki?
I have very little knowledge on them.
Well, they have like extensive legends around the area, and a lot of our places are named after them. So if I murder any of the names, I feel really bad, but I'll do my best. And then, of course, we've had all the European settlers and loggers up here, and they have their own folklore. So they're bringing that to the table.
Yeah, we found a lot of that in our Oklahoma stuff as well. Oklahoma is all indigenous land as well. And so a lot of our town names and lakes and stuff are very much rooted in the indigenous culture.
Oh, that's cool. So I'm hoping to treat this with, enough respect that it deserves, but, also have a little fun along the way. So, let's start with the big one, right? Bigfoot.
The biggest of them all.
Right. I mean, the most famous, right? The Procter & Gamble is not from here, but it's not Procter & Gamble. It's Gimlin and what is it? Bigfoot footage.
Oh. The really famous one. I cannot remember.
Patterson and Gimlin. I couldn't remember. I had to quick Google it. So anyway, we've got our own up here. So I'm going to try to pronounce it. All right. Kiwa is the name for a gigantic humanoid with the reputation for eating people during the winter months. Yeah, it's a lot like the Wendigo, which is another native creature. And are you guys familiar with the Wendigo?
Mm-hmm. I am, yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot to be said about that. There's up in Canada, actually, there was a trial about people who, they murdered a guy because he was a supposed Wendigo, and it was in the native culture. So it's a little bit touchy, and I'm not going to go there, but that's really interesting. So if you guys want to look that up on your own, go ahead and do that. But so we've also got the Gawakaku. That's Bigfoot's cousin. He's supposed to roam near the Medley-Bemps Bay Lake. Told you I'm going to slaughter these names. I'm from Washington originally, and we have our own native names, but I can pronounce those because I grew up there. And then over here, they're like, nah, we're changing things. So, but that one's a large ape-like beast that stands about 8 foot tall and is covered in reddish hair and emits a foul odor.
So we have our own here in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like he is he's a smaller cousin of the Bigfoot as well. Well, 7 to 8 feet tall. Called the Boggy Bottom Monster or Boggy Bottom Bigfoot, which is a mouthful.
Oh.
Quite a few sightings of this guy. He's about, like I said, 7 to 8 feet tall, covered in that reddish brown colored fur and weighing more than 500 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
So has there been like any recordings or anything like that, like or blurry pictures, or is it all just hearsay on those ones too?
No, there's been pictures and I believe recordings as well. I
Audio
know
or
there's
video?
pictures. I believe video. Don't
Ah,
quote me on that, though. I might be wrong.
They had a festival too, but
Oh.
unfortunately it's closed down.
Yeah. While I was researching
really?
this one, I got really excited because the town that puts it on is only about 3 hours from us. And when I clicked on it to figure out what the dates were, it's like, sorry, this has been permanently canceled. I was like, man.
Oh man, that sucks. I wonder why
I
that is though.
know.
I mean, just low turnout, or is
It didn't say.
the Men in Black coming around to shut things
Well,
down?
we're also in the Midwest / South, so mythical creatures aren't welcome for most people.
We're in the Bible Belt, is what she's trying to
Oh,
say.
I see what
could
you're saying.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out how to say that nicely, so.
Yeah.
I
You're
couldn't
in,
figure out what you were trying to say. I was like, yeah, that's that.
Yeah,
I get the geographical location. Cool.
I understand where Oklahoma is.
Here in the land ruled with an iron fist by the Baptists.
Yes.
Oh, really? So they don't like cryptids?
I don't like anything as far as I can tell.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know anything about really the church versus cryptids, although that is a movie I would watch.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you have to remember too, though, in the 80s, this was like the epicenter of the satanic panic and dealing
But what's that got to do
like,
with Bigfoot?
I'm just saying. So if you're freaking out about D&D, can you imagine how you're going to feel about aliens and Bigfoot and the deer woman? And
That's a bear.
that is a bear.
Earl, you better not go out there and mess around with the boggy bottom boy.
I done told you, you don't come home before dark. That boggy bottom Bigfoot will get you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it
that
looks
ain't
like
right.
it's
That's
mostly-
against God.
It looks like it's mostly photos and foot castings.
Photos and foot castings is great. That is good work on that. Because like at the Cryptozoological Museum, they also have droppings or supposed droppings. So
Wow.
That was so
yeah, Sasquatch scat.
I was just looking at this most recent picture that they have of
Mhm.
good old Triple B, and I'm pretty sure it's a bear. Sorry to break it to everybody, but that's
Well,
a bear.
when we moved here back in 2016 in Maine, there was a creature called Wessie, which
Yeah.
was a giant snake of Westbrook. And it was terrorizing all over there. Everyone's like, man, the thing's like 10 feet long and it's got the head the size of a softball, right?
Mhm.
Well, they found a snake skin shed, and it belonged to a Burmese python, so it was probably an escaped pet.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, that's not the first time that they've had mistaken something for cryptids. Like, let me see here. What was that one called? It was, oh man, I don't know if I have it on here, but I'm looking at the doc right now, and it's this wolf
Is it the
monster.
spectral moose?
No, it's not the spectral moose. That's a good one. But this one's like, let's see here. Let me go over to the other doc. All this stuff I'll cut down, but
That's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and send you this last sighting picture in the group chat.
Okay, sounds good.
So you can see what I'm talking about with the it's a bear.
that's just a mangy bear.
And that's in Discord.
No, I sent it on the group chat.
Oh, on the group chat. Okay. Yeah, I gotta find this thing. It turns out that there was a wolf that bred with a dog, and it was terrorizing a town here in Maine. Yeah, that's a bear.
Yeah.
Just check the group chat, and that is totally a bear.
Being in the north, we're like, no, that's just a bear.
You got a bear further south than you're used to. It probably doesn't want to be here either, which is why it looks so mangy and probably a little cantankerous.
I bet it escaped from like a circus or something.
Probably.
Yeah.
Russian petting zoo.
Let's see here. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I meant to put this one in here because it was so interesting. because of the fact that it was a hybrid wolf dog and it terrorized these people. And they're like, there is a legit monster in our town.
So it's called the wolf dog of Maine, or Turner Beast.
Yep, the
or
Turner Beast.
Maine
That's right.
Mutant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you got the article up, take it away.
Oh, it's honestly, it's all Google AI, but I am more than happy to talk about it. So, the wolf dog of Maine, also known as the Turner Beast or the Maine Mutant. Bear with me here.
Apparently, it's also called the Escrogan creature.
Escrogan?
Oh, I see that.
Yeah.
Because it was seen around State Park.
Androscoggin.
That might be how you pronounce it if you're from away.
Yeah, I am. Escrogan.
So, sightings of a large, menacing black dog-like creature during the 1990s and early 2000s, leading to the creature becoming known as the Turner Beast. Possible theories suggest that the creature may be a wolf-dog hybrid or a new, undiscovered species. In 2006, a dead animal found in Turner, Maine, which appeared mostly blue. Weird, mostly blue with blue eyes, blue lips, and charcoal-colored fur, was analyzed. DNA analysis concludes that the animal's mother was of the canine family and the father was linked, likely also a canine. So it's a dog.
It's a dog.
Is what it's telling me.
It's a dog with dog-like
mom,
DNA.
dog dad.
But the point is, it was a monster, and it existed, and now it's gone. And that brings us back to a few more things. You'd thrown out the ghost moose earlier.
Yeah.
You like that one? That one I think is pretty awesome, actually. And it's not okay. So for those who don't know, I mean, it's obviously a white moose, and albino moose are not that uncommon, but this one's immortal and invulnerable to firearms. So,
or people are just really bad shots.
Mm-hmm. That could be it too. They're probably like, "Oh my God, there is a white moose! We got to shoot it!" And they get the buck fever and miss. I think that's probably what.
Like, I hit it directly in the hindquarters. No, sir, you didn't. That was a tree.
Yeah, and they probably were shooting a tree.
Right.
From what I know from going up to camp. Yeah. But yeah, there are still a few more cryptids to discuss up here in Maine if we got a little time here. One of my favorites is the bildad. And apparently so first off, the creature is like a beaver with the legs of a kangaroo and the beak of a hawk.
Oh.
And if you eat it, you will jump into the air and land in the lake. So
that's a weird cartoonish side effect.
Yes.
Eating it.
Yeah, that is. Also, why are you eating a creature that you don't know what it is?
Yeah.
It's rural Maine.
That's fair.
I have a cookbook on how to cook beaver, and it goes into great detail about eating the fat of the tail. So yeah, they have a lot.
Is it similar to like gator fat where you have to get it all off the meat because it's like a disgusting rancid flavor, or is it delicious?
No, they eat it because when the trappers were up here, it gets cold in Maine. It's really cold. And so when the trappers were up here, they were like, we've got to keep our fat on. So they would eat the fat off of the tail. They would cook the tail itself. And apparently it's very hard to get cooked and done right. But not undesirable flavor.
Oh,
interesting.
Along this line, we got gator jerky in at one of the stores up here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I've got to try this. So I bought some and I brought it home to the kids, and they're like, Yeah, it's pretty good. Like, what other exotic jerkies do they have out there? So we went online and we ordered 20 sticks of exotic animal meat. Now,
Interesting.
if you're a vegetarian, I apologize for this part of the show, but we ate kangaroo, camel, ostrich, duck, some of the venison and boar and buffalo and things like that. Like the most exotic ones were the alligator, the camel, and the kangaroo.
Interestingly enough, in Australia, kangaroo jerky is super common.
I believe it. Yeah.
So how was the camel?
It was a little gamier than the others. Like, so when it's jerked, right, it's all kind of tastes the same. But
Yeah.
like the camel really stuck out as like, this is a different flavor than some of the other ones.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think I'd eat camel again, even if it was a jerk. So
is it
unless
similar
I was
to
in the
bear?
desert starving.
That's true.
No, it's not similar to bear.
I hear bears. I haven't eaten bear, but I hear it's very, very gamey.
It is gamey
and greasy.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, I don't know. Yeah, it's greasy. That's true.
I don't think I'd want to eat a bear.
Yeah, I get a bear permit every year, and I never get one.
Just look too much like people. Like, I don't know.
Or Bigfoot, apparently.
Or Bigfoot. I'm not in. I'm out.
Yeah, when you dress them out, they really do look like people.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
Well, let's get that aside and go back to the white-faced monkey of Saco. Let's get back into cryptids. No, that's all right. Or the goat man of Haynesville Woods. I go hunting there. That ties things in.
Have you ever seen him there?
No, I have been looking because there's also, I wouldn't say that this is a cryptid, more of a ghost story, and we'll save that for the ghost show, but like there's a witch that'll steal your face in the woods of Haynesville as well. It's like very haunted. It used to be one of the most dangerous parts of the highway system up here.
I wonder if she's related to Baba Yaga.
I don't think so. She doesn't have a house with chicken legs.
She's missing out.
I think she's homeless.
It's just some poor transient woman.
It's a transient woman who steals children's faces.
They shouldn't have been out in the woods.
It's actually a real. Oh no, I'm not going to get into it on this one. But
okay,
we'll save that one because that one I will deep dive into. I'm doing surface level here with just to get through a lot of them because there are so many cryptids. Like I wrote up an entire like research doc on all the cryptids in Maine, and some of them are very, very silly. I think did I talk about that last time? Like razor shins?
No. Tell me more about razor.
Well, like, so if you're a logger and you're a new logger, you get told about this creature, and what you do to save yourself from being attacked by them is you put out some whiskey outside your tent at night. Which to me is a pretty clear sign that you're going to get, your coworkers drunk. I think that's the only monster there.
Yeah.
Getting hazed, buddy.
Yep, it's just a giant hazing ritual where the old guys get drunk off whiskey. Yeah,
most of the lager ones are very, very silly. There's a creature that is a bear moose, something else I can't remember, but like it turns like a giant wheel, and so like if you're tracking it, it would turn into a moose, and then it would turn into a bear, and it rolls, and that's why you can't ever discover what it is.
I didn't know you couldn't track a wheel.
Yeah, well, you can track it, but you think you're tracking the wrong animal, so it's a very clever one. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, I've got like, I did find the Turner Beast finally in my notes here, but the last one I'm going to touch on is the Pamola, Pamola. Pamola?
Sure.
Okay, so Pamola lives on top of our I want to say only mountain. But that's because, again, I have some West Coast snobbery. But
yeah, us too.
Like, so I come here and they're like, yeah, we've got Mount Katahdin. and it is a mountain in its own right. You can see it from many parts of the state because there are hills everywhere else. Like Maine is not a very mountainous state. So the Pomola lives on top of one of the peaks up there, and it has like the head of the moose and a body of a man and wings of an eagle. And so this one actually comes from the Penobscot nation. So not the Wabanaki. It's a different group. But there are many legends about it, and it's kind of fun. But I mean, I feel weird touching on a lot of natives myths. Like, for some reason, I'm okay with the Wendigo and being like, yeah, man, that one's weird. But like, when it comes to other ones, they're like, this is a sacred mountain. You guys really shouldn't hike on it as much as you do. Like we do.
Yeah, we ran into the same problem while we were looking at cryptids. We tried to steer away from any of the ones that were super indigenous. A, because I can't pronounce anything, and B, I just trying not to be insensitive.
I see. That's pretty good. I mean, it's good to, I mean, like, we should try not to, but like at the same time, they are myths, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I feel like treat them with some respect, but we can still laugh about it, right?
Well, we've got some really good ones to laugh about if you're interested.
Sure. What do you got?
So let's start with our good friend, the Flatwoods Monster in central West Virginia. So this cryptid appears to be a robot alien in a dress. It was seen approximately one time on September 12th in 1952, scared the crap out of a lady and her 6 kids and dogs. And it has an enormous tourist following, even though it was only ever seen once by like one family.
Well, the drawings of it are extremely cute. And in fact, I think I'll interject right now. I do have those patches still for those who want to call in and leave a message at 207-591-4443. The Flatwoods Monster is one of those patches.
I'm gonna call in and get that.
He'll never know.
I'll never know. Anyway, the Flatwoods Monster is really cool. West Virginia, like, have you guys played Fallout 76?
No.
Okay, it's worth a download. It's kind of fun if you like the Fallout games. But West Virginia has so many cryptids in it, like the Mothman.
Yeah, it's a hot spot for cryptids.
Yeah, and aliens.
Yeah.
Well, the Mothman Festival is actually on our list of things we need to do.
I will go with you. When is it?
Please hold. I will look it up.
Are we going to do the UFO festival in Nova Scotia this year or next year?
Next year.
You want to do it this year? Oh, next year? Okay, next year.
I'm just starting a new job.
Oh, that's
they
true.
frown upon time off as soon as you start, so.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Sarah's being a responsible adult.
Let me make sure they like me or lock me in before they decide they don't like me.
That's true.
September 21st and 22nd. I probably will. Well, is that a weekend? That's probably a weekend.
Probably. September 26th and 27th.
So, Larry, have you ever...
It's a Friday, Saturday.
Do your kids ever stick their legs through their sweatshirt sleeves and their arms so they walk around like little goofballs?
They have in the past, and I think I know where you're going with this one.
Yeah, so when we were looking at the Fresno night crawlers, these are just walking pants with small head, about 4.5 feet tall. All I could think of is when my kids used to walk around the house on their hands with their legs through their armholes.
It is so cute, and I like when they do a little jump like that too.
And then they fall over.
It's very cute.
So that's the Fresno Nightcrawler.
Yeah, I think the Fresno Nightcrawler is totally a hoax. I've seen the videos. Have you seen the videos?
Yes. That's what made us think of like, oh.
Yeah, I immediately just thought of, so her kids did the sweatshirt thing. My kid and a couple of my nieces and nephews would steal each other's sweatpants that were too big, and they'd pull them up as far as they could go, like up around their neck, and tie them off with their arms in the sweatpants. So
Mhm.
they were just a walking pair of legs with a head.
Okay, so they went full on Fresno
Yeah.
Nightcrawler.
Yeah,
Okay.
they look just like it.
I love it. I love it so much. Now this one, so we're transitioning away. This will still go out to YouTube, but it's just going to be an audio format. But I might pull down a couple of these just to throw some pictures up on, because they're cute. Like a lot of these things are very cute creatures. Like
Yeah.
I would not feel terrible. Well, maybe I would, because they're
I
cute
can
from a
send you a
distance.
picture of my kids actually doing the Fresno Nightcrawler if you'd like. I'm pretty sure I have one.
Sure, send me that. I'd love it. But so if we're moving around in the area now, you guys, before we were talking, you brought up a very ugly creature that cries.
This is my favorite cryptid in the whole world. It's called the squonk, and it hails from Pennsylvania. It is described as an ugly creature that is constantly weeping because it is so ugly.
It's a lot of inference that the person who saw it was making.
I was like, wow, man, me too.
It could just have allergies.
Maybe it just had a bad day. Like, why you gotta pick on its looks?
Be like, oh man, that thing's crying because it is ugly.
So apparently you're just supposed to follow the wet trail to try, to find it. The problem is, once the squonk is actually cornered, it just dissolves into a puddle of tears.
How does that work?
I don't know, but when I saw a picture of it, all I could think of is I just want to pet squonk.
The embodiment of seasonal depression.
It's the embodiment of the teenage years.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, that might be true. That might be true. It is just like someone's self-projection out there just wandering around. It's the emo cryptid.
It is the emo cryptid. Don't look at me when I'm like this.
So I see you guys have stuck around the East Coast. Are there more cryptids on the East Coast than the West Coast, do you think?
They're pretty evenly dispersed. But like I said, we were trying to go for like the sillier ones.
Sure.
And we were trying to stay away from a lot of like the more known ones, or like the lake ones.
Mm-hmm.
So we were trying to just get the ones that didn't really have a whole lot known about them.
The lake ones, huh?
Yeah.
I like the lake ones. Like, used to live up in Tonasket, Washington for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And right up from us is a Soyuz, and they have a lake creature called Okefenokee. I gotta look it up now. I think it's based off the name Okanagan.
It's the Ogopogo.
No, is that right?
I might be wrong.
All I can think of is the delicious Japanese snack okonomiyaki.
That sounds delicious.
And then I think, wasn't there supposed to be one in oh yeah, it's Ogopogo.
Yeah.
Wasn't there supposed to be one in Lake Chelan too?
Yes.
Yeah,
well,
the Lake Chelan dragon.
Insanely deep.
Yeah, and cold.
Some of the sturgeons they pull out of there, though, are massive, and I could totally see how somebody catching a sight of those prehistoric-looking things would think it's a monster.
Oh, absolutely. There was a sturgeon in the tank down at Rocky Reach Dam that the tank was not very clean, and so when it would like kind of roll by, it was frightening.
Yeah.
Like, you're just like, what is this monster?
Yeah, where did this dragon come from?
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I think that most of them are probably just sturgeons in Washington.
Yeah.
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 Oh, and then Maryland has its own version of a Thunderbird-ish. It's got a bird reptile chimera with a metallic beak, one eye, and tentacles. And apparently it sounds like a locomotive whistle. It lays eggs the size of a barrel and flies silently and drinks the blood of its victims.
So
At one
it
point, the
goes.
Smithsonian Museum offered a prize for its hide, and Teddy Roosevelt considered even hunting it.
What the?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That was
Okay.
probably my favorite fun fact, is that Roosevelt was like, huh,
I'll hunt it.
I wonder if I should go get that snallygaster.
That's clearly Theodore.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that a lot. But it goes choo choo.
Apparently.
One eye and tentacles.
One eye and tentacles. Wow, I think I've seen that anime.
It has a lot.
But it also is featured, but looks much different in a Fallout game too. Like a lot of these cryptids are in Fallout.
I love that. Maybe I should start playing it.
You should. I think you'd enjoy it. It is a little first-person shooter, but it has a lot of RPG elements to it. So,
okay.
If I get, I guess, endorsed by Bethesda, this is my pitch for them.
This is my pitch.
Yeah, so I think we've covered almost all of the cryptids we wanted to bring up today, and that will probably bring us in around another 26 minutes. So I think that might be our target for the show.
Did you want to talk about the ones from actually Oklahoma, just in case we need more?
Oh, shoot, I totally forgot about them. Yeah, totally.
I got off topic with the goofy ones because there was a good segue into it.
Oh, I have a whole nother doc that has the Oklahoma ones.
Oh, go for it.
Please hold.
Please hold.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, cryptids.
Oh, look at you, fancy pants. I had to work all day, so she was the studious one to fill in what we'd already had from last weekend. So,
our most well-known, I would say, because if you look up Oklahoma cryptid, this is what comes up. Oh,
okay.
It's the Oklahoma's giant octopus.
Yes, I was hoping that would be the one.
Yeah. So it's described as being the size of a large horse, slightly red in color, and somewhat resembling a shark with tentacles.
A shark with tentacles?
I have a hard time.
That sounds more like a squid.
Oh, yeah.
And it's in Lake Thunderbird, Lake Oologah, and Lake Tenkiller. The interesting part of this, though, is that I believe that all of Oklahoma's lakes are man-made.
Yes.
So it doesn't make any sense that we would have an octopus left over from even prehistoric times. It's just there.
And unless it was deep in the clay.
All the way down.
It was rehydrated by the man-made lakes. Wait, you have a man-made lake named Oologah?
Yeah.
I'm looking up Oologah. What could that possibly mean?
That's a great question. I mean, they're all indigenous names. We have Lake Thunderbird, then Lake Oologah, and Lake Tenkiller, excuse me.
Okay, Tenkiller's got to have a story behind it.
It does, and we looked it up when we passed it one time, and it was
it's not...
No, see, I was thinking serial killer of some sort, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But it ended up being, I want to say, a site of a battle.
Oh.
I don't know, but every time I see signs for it, I think of the Tom Waits song with Tenkiller Lake.
I don't remember that one.
Swordfish Trombone.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
As Larry takes a pause to go look that up.
No, I'm not looking it up. I'm trying to remember the lyrics to it. I can't remember that one.
Sarah and I have an entire playlist of songs that feature Oklahoma, places from Oklahoma, reference Oklahoma. So,
I was way off. Wow,
so,
now I feel dumb.
It's great to be on.
That's okay. It's editable.
Thank goodness. Yeah. Take that whole thing out about the battle because that was way wrong.
I will.
Lake Tenkiller got its name from the Tenkiller family. But how did the Tenkiller family get their family name?
Oh, I think we know.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, I mean, you're not exactly we treated the natives really nicely area.
No,
It's fine. It's fine if they killed 10 or so.
not at all.
And then we have the Oklahoma deer woman, which, according to indigenous legends, this is a beast that runs around the forests of Oklahoma, which are sparse, by the way. It's described as a half woman, half deer, and she is said to lure young men into the forest with her beauty. But once they see that she has hooves, she morphs into a doe and tramples them.
Yeah.
Stop them.
It's the it's the landlocked version of the siren.
I didn't think of it that way.
That's immediately what I thought.
Hey, baby. Stop.
Yeah. I can't drown you, but I can stomp you to death.
I love that.
Well, so I did a little research on this one too, and like one of the things I really liked about it was that I don't know if this is modernized looking back at a like the stories of the deer woman, but it says that, you know, she represents femininity, motherhood, sexuality, and the importance of respecting women's power and autonomy. And
yeah,
I really like that. The idea of like, you look at her, she's going to kill you. Like, I don't know how those two quite translate, but I think that it does make sense. I feel it, if not narratively, but like intuitively.
Nice.
There are times when I don't want to look at my wife because she will trample me.
I've met your wife. She could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she will.
She's 5'4", pure spite.
Dynamite.
And
Did
then
you guys look at the dogman? Oh.
No, I didn't. I didn't see that one in my hunts, but I did see on your doc that.
Yeah, tell us about the dogman.
Yeah, please. It is from Oklahoma.
It is, yeah. So like we have a dogman. There's dogmen all over the place, but you guys have the famous one. In fact, there's a song about the dogman.
Oh goodness!
And I might include it. I wonder if I should play it. I don't know. We'll see if I can clear that at the end. But I don't want to get too many strikes right off the bat with our show. So
that's fair.
But yeah, so the dogman is a bipedal, human-like dog. It's got like the body of a man with like the head of a dog. So I mean, there's not much to describe there. But
Looks
yeah,
like a werewolf.
Yeah, well, okay, so that's some of the depictions where it's very hairy, and very wolf-like. So like, yeah, there's the wolf or dog version, you know, of the characteristics of it, but very human-like with its stance.
Interesting.
In fact, yeah. Hey, I wonder. No, because I'd have to put on that. Yeah, I'll play it at the end of this. And it's really a really bad song. But yeah, what was your last, or one of the last few cryptids you had here?
Oh, so we have the Oklahoma alligator man.
Whoa, I don't know that one.
This creature had the body of a man and the head of an alligator. In 1920, the Oklahoman reported that in 1842, a man exploring near Tahlequah stumbled on a hidden cave. And of course, he decided to take a peek inside. He reported seeing the large outline of a man, and as the man slowly moved towards him, he noticed the man inside the cave had reptilian features. And he was reported that after the creature saw him, he chased after him. So that's the Oklahoma alligator man. He's a lizard person.
But they actually published it in the Oklahoma newspaper.
What?
Oh, yeah, that is, yes, the local newspaper. But what's really funny is they published it like 78 years after the fact. So
yeah.
So, all right. So Sobek goes on vacation from Egypt to Oklahoma.
Apparently.
Okay, that joke is just for me. He was the god for the alligator head.
Oh no, I gotcha. My son's really into all mythology, so I have seen so much mythology, more than I knew existed.
But I think you're probably right. It is just a lizard person. It's like Took a break from ruling the government to terrorize this poor guy.
In 1842.
He was a claim jumper.
Yeah, there you go.
And then, of course, the most famous of the Oklahoma cryptids would be the thunderbird. So this bird is supposedly has the wingspan of up to like 160 feet wide and a body that's like 90 feet in length. It's reported to be featherless and resemble a dragon. Allegedly the bird was finally taken down by some local riflemen and is said to be buried near Clarita at the bottom
Wait,
of the
what?
river, which seems suspicious because if you actually shot down a thunderbird, you would be parading it around the world after being taxidermied. You would certainly not bury it at the bottom of the river.
Absolutely not.
No one does that.
So we're like now I don't know the names of the flying dinosaurs anymore. When I was a kid, that's what they were called. They're not called that anymore.
Petrodons?
I don't even think they're called that anymore.
Why are we old?
Why do they have to change the dinosaur names?
I know. They're like even brontosauruses apparently didn't exist. I don't know anymore. Like,
you just
Pluto's not a planet. Now I'm just getting into being an old man.
Listen, I'm still mad about Pluto not being a planet.
Yeah, me too, actually.
It'll always be a planet in my heart.
Oh no, it is a pterodon. I said petrodon. I don't really know why, except for that there's a P at the front, so that's how my brain remembered it. Kind of like the Quizzy Hat Rack instead of Quizatch Hatterack.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's like they changed it on us because it used to be like a petrodactyl and pterodactyl. And anyway. Well, that was a fun little jaunt down the side road of like getting old and what are dinosaurs called.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in and letting us talk about the little creatures that go bump in the night. And next time we will come back with ghosts.